What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky from Video Homicide, and today I want to talk about a film from 1962, and that film is Black Test Car, and it's directed by Yasuzo Masumura. And I gotta state right off the bat, this is not like your typical sort of film you might see on my channel, me talking about. This is not a Yakuza film. It's not a tried and true gangster film or even a monster film or any type of revenge film. It's more of an espionage film, and what I mean by that is like it deals with spies, it deals with sort of shady business dealings. You might even say this film is like a film noir, but like a later film noir, like of course it being in the 60s. Most film noir, I believe they had run their course by the end of the 40s, I want to say. It's very subjective, I guess you could, or not really subjective, but I mean everyone has their own ideas for certain shit. There's not everything is like an umbrella where everyone agrees on everything, you know what I mean? But anyways, this film is all about these two car companies, and one of them, fuck, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but basically the film starts off with this test car going on a test run, okay? And it crashes because it takes a corner way too quick. And this company, the Tiger Company, they don't know what the fuck to do because they're thinking they might need to market it as a family car as opposed to a sports car, which it is. Now, there's this other company called the Yamato, the Yamato Company. They're also trying to develop a car, and they're trying to steal the blueprints from the Tiger Company. And the film is basically all about that. It's all about the Tiger Company versus the Yamato Company. There's no real, crazy kills, although there is a pretty extreme death in the film. Most of it is just sort of, to the point type of acting, to the point type of directing. No time is really wasted in this film, which I really appreciate. Now, me kind of trying to, separate myself from the typical Yakuza stuff, samurai stuff, all that kind of stuff when it comes to Japanese cinema with me. I think this was a great start, and I would highly recommend this film to anyone that is a fan of, both noir pictures and, 60s, well, really early 60s Japanese cinema. So, with your this is the beginning of the 60s, so just to put in perspective, your late 50s, you're going to get a lot of like your Akira Kurosawa films, even into the 60s and stuff like that. So this is, not a period piece, it's of the time sort of piece. Like it takes place in modern day society, and it has all of your sort of modern day cliches that might have happened back then, or that did happen back then in the 60s in Japan, especially the way women were treated, women were looked upon, although some of these women are very independent and things like that, but it's, there's still that little bit of, like there's even a scene where like there's this one businessman from one of the companies goes and meets with this other businessman, and the one guy says, he shows up at his house, and the wife is like, you got no time for your wife or whatever, and he's like, it's the man's duty to have the job or something like that. And it's just like so like opposite of how it is nowadays in modern living. But one cool thing about this film, I gotta say, is the acting was awesome. And I especially love, I'm totally not gonna know what his name is or even what his name was in the film, because I did watch this with the subtitles. But he was like the sort of, not the head honcho of the Tiger Company, but sort of like second in command. I really loved him, and I think I might have seen him in a couple other flicks, could be wrong, but spot on job with that guy. I thought he was really good. And this movie kind of plays with the idea of, I thought that I knew who the spy was going to be the whole movie, right? I'm like, that's the spy, and it wasn't. And I was like, yes, thank you for a pleasant surprise. Like, I hate watching movies and just being able to say to myself, like, well, I know what's going to happen, and then it happens, because this is sort of before the era of predictability with movies, especially, just like a spy film or like kind of a whodunit film where you can almost 99% of the time, if you're well-versed in cinema, you can pick out who the rat is, and that was not the case with this film. And of course, this is the Arrow release, so it's jam-packed with special features. And I should also mention that not only does this have Black Test Car on this disc, it also has the Black Report, which is by the same directors a couple years later, and I didn't watch it, so I can't really tell you what it's about, but I will be watching it in the short future, of course. In terms of special features, though, we got, well, of course, original uncompressed Japanese mono audio on both files, optional newly translated English subtitles on both films, newly recorded critical appreciation by Jonathan Rosenbaum, which I watched, which is like 20 minutes, and it gives you sort of a really good in-depth look at the director's work, starting way back when he was like, I think he was going to school for like psychiatry or something like that, but something totally removed from filmmaking, and it kind of fell through, so he just went and got a job at a film studio. Like, it was like just that easy back then. I wish it was that easy now. But yeah, I really like that special feature, and like I said, it was like 17 minutes. We got theatrical trailers for both films, image galleries for both films, reversible sleeve featuring newly commissioned work by Tony Stella, which is beautiful art, of course. The original art, I think, is better. I pretty much always think that. Not 100% of the time, but about 95% of the time. Arrow knocked it out. This was a great transfer. I mean, I never seen it before. I never watched on like an old beat up VHS tape like I have on a lot of films, but yeah, it was just a great little movie to watch. It was about an hour and a half, and a great way to spend that hour and a half. So with that being said, I definitely appreciate everybody for watching the video, subscribing, leaving comments, watching the Dinner and a Movie series, checking out the Teespring, all that stuff, man. I think it's really cool. So stay tuned for more videos. Adios. Turn this bitch off.